Hey webheads, it's Illawarra's friendly neighbourhood Spidey here, doing something a bit different this time. If you know me, you know I love movies. I'm a massive cinephile and video gamer. But moving forward, hoping to do a few more of these. Just keep in mind this might have a few minor spoilers. I'm not spoiling anything big, but if you want to go into this fresh, come back and listen to it later. Today, of course, it's Avatar: Way of the Water. If you haven't seen the first film, I don't know where you've been, but we're going to go straight into this knowing you have seen the first film. This time around, it's more about family again. It's about your tribe, about the ocean itself, more specifically about whales. Don't go anywhere, stick with me here. Without getting into too much spoiler territory, Jake, played by Sam Worthington again, and Neytiri, played by Zoe Saldana, now have children. 2 sons, natural born, because, now he's a Na'vi. Natium, played by Jamie Flatters, and Loak, played by Britton Dalton. Natural born, again, of course, let's not get into how that happens, but it's happened. And they have an adopted daughter, Kiri, mocapped and voiced by Sigourney Weaver brilliantly, by the way. You wouldn't know it. And adopted human-born Miles, aka Spider, I know, right? Played by Jack Champion. One big, mostly happy family they are now anyway. The themes of parenthood and not wanting to let your children go are very strong here, and for me alone that gripped me for most of the film. The ocean conservation, is never on your nose. It feels natural, and seeing Pandora's version of whales being hunted is absolutely heartbreaking, but for all the right reasons, as James Cameron always hits home with the message he's getting across: greed and vengeance. Going into Avatar 2: Way of the Water, I had some expectations, but I felt they were lower than they should have been, even though the original film is held high on my list of best movies of all time. For me, okay? Could be biased because everything James Cameron works on for me is usually phenomenal. Aliens, Terminator, T2, Abyss, Titanic, Alita. I won't go on. Well, not always in story, but in technological advancement. I wanted to see what new tech he brings to cinema that everyone will use for the next 10 to 20 years, and I got it. That aside, the movie's about 3 hours and 10 minutes long, and that's what worried me the most. I shouldn't have been, because besides finding that time in my life to fit this film in, the film never faltered. It never slowed down, never got boring. There was always something to behold, especially in 3D. If you go in 3D with the HFR, the high frame rate, it was fantastic. It's a technical masterpiece. But is it a good film? Yes. It's not a perfect one, but it's definitely something I want to see again in the comfort of my living room with the sound right up on my big TV. What's it about this time? Well, besides family and whales? This time, Jake and family are on the run from an old nemesis in the form of, you guessed it, Colonel Quaritch. You know, the big baddie in the mech at the end of the last one? Yep, that's right. Played again by Stephen Lang, wait, isn't he dead? Yes, he is. However, with most screenwriting and science fiction fantasy films, if you like someone, find a way to bring them back, right? With a neat trick regarding leaving blood samples behind and having a backup avatar at the ready, Quaritch is now an avatar, or more specifically, a clone of a Na'vi, as Jake was in the original. The film then mostly borders around Quaritch finding out how he died, who killed him, and then of course, it's about vengeance, or is it about growth? Can it be both? The tension between Quaritch and Jake and Neytiri can get a little lost at times with the loss of seeing Stephen Lang's physical performance on screen, but his Na'vi counterpart, Avatar, does a great job either way. Once again, his blind vengeance gets in the way of practicality, and we see the world of Pandora being burnt, tribes of Na'vi murdered, Pandora whales being hunted, all to try and bait Jake and family into being captured and killed. How and why does this corporation let Quaritch keep going on these tandems? Just to kill one Na'vi? Besides being a leader, there seems to be something missing here, which I couldn't quite understand. While killing whales produced profit, as did minerals in the first film, some of the connections here didn't quite connect for me as a viewer. I found it a little far-fetched, and yet I couldn't stop watching it. It was pure entertainment, the entire run length. The introduction of the Water Tribe as well was fantastic, with Tonawari, Cliff Curtis, and Ronell, played by Kate Winslet, the leaders of the tribe. However, after a few things between them, they sadly are thrown to being background characters we never really see much of again, or enough of. This hindrance aside, and a few others I won't spoil, it didn't leave me with a cliffhanger that warranted another 3 films. Roughly another 9 more hours possibly. I wanted a cliffhanger that made me crave more, the way an MCU film can leave you wanting or wondering what's next for a character or the themes. It didn't do it here. It closed off enough that if another film never happened, I'd be quite satisfied either way. But the sequels are coming anyway, so just go out there, get back into the cinemas, immerse yourself in something for a few hours outside of your home and your mobile phone. The cinemas are back, and I think this is a brilliant way to start it up again if you haven't been. So let me know, you're going to go see Avatar 2, or you're going to wait for it to come to your home theatre, or... Anyway, I hope I did okay. Let me know anyway, and hopefully we'll review another film soon. Love ya.